Hello everyone, my name is Mimi79. Today I've got some Assetto Corsa Competizione. So I got this game just under 4 weeks ago, but I just didn't feel as though it would be the right thing to make a video when I'm such a noob. But since daily races on Gran Turismo Sport are so utterly terrible, I decided to make a video on this game. So this was my very first online race, so if I look like an absolute noob, it's because I am. So, onto my first qualifying lap then. Well, my first attempt at a qualifying lap anyway. Braking just before the 100 board, and turns out that was a bit too late, and we're going to go again. So, what we've got to bear in mind is that this is nothing like Gran Turismo. The physics, the race layout is completely different to Gran Turismo's kind of layout. So you've got to bear that in mind. But as much as I love this game for what it is, it's just there's something about it that can't keep me coming back, because there's just no kind of scheduled races on the console, and that's the biggest downfall of this game. I think it's just the fact that there's no weekly races or no daily races or whatever to tuck your teeth into, so there's not really much to do. And another thing as well to bear in mind is that even though this game is on PS4 and Xbox, you're locked at 30 FPS, which is a shame because Gran Turismo Sport can run on 60 FPS just fine. So I think that's a bit of a shame really. But anyway, onto my qualifying lap. I'm completely misjudging the hairpin there. Could have probably gained about 0.3 of a second. But into the final sector, very tricky to get right. And in Assetto Corsa, you've got to be so careful you don't lose the car like I almost did there. And then through the final chicane, getting it all wrong, and when you've got traction control, it's just so hard to control the slide because you'll lose so much time. It's not like in Gran Turismo where you can use the Audi R8 or whatever and just slide the car around everywhere and get #1 in the world. But setting a 48.1, not the best lap, even for my newbie standards. I could probably squeeze an extra second out of that lap. So through the first sector then, we're just spinning it to the inside and then powering out as early as possible. Got to make sure that you get that corner dead right, and then into turn number 4, braking kind of 20 meters before the Repsol board just above, and then there isn't really a braking point for this corner. I just kind of go based off instinct, and then not a bad exit, definitely gained a lot of time there. But into turn number 7 then, it's very tricky to get this corner dead right. Not the greatest run there, could have carried a lot more speed on exit. But into turn number 9 then, getting a lot of oversteer and just throwing the car over the apex, and that probably cost us about 2 or 3/10 and if we got it dead right. But into the hairpin, we're going to gain so much time simply because the run through there on my previous lap was so bad. But into the final sector once again, bit of a poor run there, a bit sloppy, could have definitely kept it more pinned to the inside. And then also into the final chicane, you're hooking up better, and round the final corner then, just powering out, and then this corner is easily flat on this game. And on the run to the line, we are just about going to improve by 0.6 of a second. We're going to go into P3 provisionally with a 47.5. Not the best lap. Again, still could have probably got into the 46s, even then, by my standards. But skipping to the end of the session, we are going to finish in P4. So what you've got to bear in mind here, sorry, P5, but the thing with the starts on this game is that you go side by side, so you go in double file. So it's a very interesting start. I think it's a lot better than Gran Turismo's rolling start, because it's a lot better for close racing, but also a lot worse for accidents. So then, car almost spinning off there before the race has even begun. That would have been quite embarrassing, I think, if he lost the car that early on. So then, just trying to keep behind the gold Mercedes, very eye-catching livery, but trying to hold my speed here, trying to keep it below 70 miles an hour. And this is going to be a good start here, already jumping the Ferrari. I think he was out of place though, to be fair, but Ferrari is an absolute shocker. He actually put it on pole position and he's already dropped down. But into the first corner here, braking just a little bit too late, tried to avoid the Ferrari by just tagged the Mercedes, and admittedly that was my fault. And then by slowing down I caused even more carnage behind. So I've effectively caused a massive accident. However, we've got to run on the Ferrari here, and we're going to go to the inside, and he just leaves us the space, and we move up into the lead of the race. So not too bad considering this is my first online race. Yeah, we did murder someone, but just got to look past that, I think. So out of turn number 6 then into turn number 7, braking just to start the curb like on GT Sport, but you can see that the Ferrari just drops it, and that is going to give us a pretty massive gap to the car behind. So the gap just extending there, yeah, 2.9 seconds now. This is absolutely crucial for our chances of winning my first ever online race. And this is just actually my first race. I also have a couple more races ready to upload, so keep your eyes peeled for those in the near future. So then, into the final chicane, probably the most awkward chicane known to man, just completely messing it up. It's much harder on ACC than on Gran Turismo, for sure, because of the way the physics work. And I think there's also the fact that it goes downhill as well. But we're just going to skip forward to the final lap of the race, because to be quite honest, we just led from the front, we didn't make too many mistakes, and this is a pretty decent lap I'm going to do here. So braking just before the 100 board, clipping the apex nicely, and then powering out as early as possible, flicking the car left and then back to the right, just trying to hug the inside as much as possible. So about a 10th up on a 47.6, which is only about a 10th off my qualifying time. But into turn number 4, I believe it is, and then around turn number 5, very long right hander, very tricky as well to get right, and then kind of braking into the corner. It's a very tricky corner to get dead right, I think, because there's no obvious brake marker to kind of use, so you have to get it dead right. We're just about green on our personal best here. So into turn number 9, not the best run, could have carried a lot more speed. I noticed that on ACC could definitely carry a lot more speed into the higher speed corners than on GT Sport. So I'm running a little bit wide there. However, this is still a fairly decent lap, we can still make up that time. So just keeping it pinned to the inside, a much better run than on my best lap, and briefly going green there, and then into the final chicane, running a tad bit wide on the apex, and that is going to cost us a lot of time. But into the start finish straight, it's going to be a win, and to be honest, that was a very easy race. After lap 1 I didn't really have to do much, but if you did enjoy, like and subscribe, turn on those post notifications, leave some feedback, let me know as well if you want to see more Assetto Corsa content. But take care everyone, and goodbye.